Growing up in China, I have learned that maintaining the relationship is the key for everything. Sometimes it is okay to break the rules to maintain loyalty. Family is very important and I have to work hard to live up to my parents' expectation. These are my value priorities that direct my actions. Today I will talk about the value from academic perspective as the motive for our behaviors. What is value? Values are the beliefs about what is important to us and serve as the motivational basis for attitude and behavior. What are some basic values? Values vary across different individuals and cultures. Today, I will introduce Schu's theory of basic human values, which the structure identifies 10 basic values that are universal. The order of values in the figure represents the motivational conflicts and compatibilities. As the continuum demonstrates, there are two sets of dimensions: conservation versus openness to change, and self-transcendence versus self-enhancement. The conservation values are the values that motivate to maintain order and safety, which is the opposite to change. While self-transcendence values are the values that promote concern for others' welfare, which is the opposite of motivate to promote self-interest as the self-enhancement values. There will be a separate video on details of our values. What influence people's value priorities? Many factors contribute to shaping your value priorities, such as your cultural background, your unique experience, your family environment growing up, the social structure. I'll share a few research from various perspectives. Due to the social structure and industrialization changes, generations show different values. For instance, millennials tend towards personal rather than social values. Under Schu's theory, they focus more on self-enhancement rather than self-transcendence values. Studies on managers' samples show that they are more self-focused and emphasize on competency skills. Cultural background is also an important factor. Communal societies care more about mutual obligations and expectations, while contractual societies care more about developing specific obligations and expectations. So values like conformity, benevolence, and tradition are emphasized in communal societies, while values like stimulation, hedonism are emphasized in contractual societies. Personality traits like openness, conscientiousness are also important in shaping the value priorities. I also want to mention that research by Schwartz demonstrated that terminal instrumental distinction does not affect the way people relate to values, and suggested we can either use terminal or instrumental as single form to measure values. They transform into each other, such as independent to independence, which is instrumental values to terminal phrasing, or politeness to polite, which is terminal values to instrumental phrase. Is value stable? Typically, values are stable. Researchers found that life events like university life or job change don't impact value, but migration and major threats do. For instance, financial crisis in 2008, 9/11, and the global COVID-19 pandemic. In the Value Project by Daniel and colleagues, they use natural experiment and track the change of value in the duration of 3.5 years using over 2,000 Australian adults. Results show that following the global pandemic, people's value on conservation increased, while values on openness to change decreased. There's also finding of decreasing in self-transcendence a few months into the pandemic, which people are less concerned for distant others, wider society, and nature. Rather, people shift more concern to close ones. What do values impact? Social science researchers study extensively on the impacts of value on a variety of outcomes. For instance, personal values impact your attitude toward civil rights, religion, political affairs. Values also impact your decisions, and one important aspect is ethical decision-making. Taking universalism as an example, it is a core value for people to adopt utilitarian philosophies on ethical decision-making to emphasize more on common goods. Personal values also have influence on behaviors, such as whether you would cheat in the classroom, your choice of college majors, attending church, participating in political activities, and lead a team in the organization. I hope the video gives you an overview of the value concept and keep in mind about the value priorities in your future decisions. Thank you for watching.